Avon and Somerset has pretty much a zero tolerance on any visible tattooing. More specifically at female officers, they definitely didn't like it. And I kind of get the opinion that a lot of the hierarchy, the male hierarchy, inspectors and above, kind of have an old school opinion about tattoos.
Okay.
And it's a lot more relaxed here. So when I transferred back here, I had to document my tattoos and the position of them. I've had new ones done since I've transferred back, but you know, in choosing my tattoos and in knowing what the policy was, I've had to be careful about what I've chosen. But I know that Suffolk's policy is nothing garish, nothing visible on the face, anything offensive on lower arms, and this is my interpretation, should be covered. I haven't had any problems with the force. I've had my tattoos mentioned. I don't know whether it was to highlight the fact that they could see them, to make a point, but never had anyone discipline me or say that I shouldn't have any more or I should wear a long sleeve top. Members of the public, as I said before, never an issue, loved it, and colleagues liked them. With my awareness of the policy as it currently stands, and the fact that you could read the section about having tattoos visible on the lower part of the arm, I've read it to mean that they shouldn't be offensive. I think the policy probably means completely different along the lines of you shouldn't have them there. However, I think that if I turn up to an interview and the policy remains as it is, and I have someone interview me who has their own personal opinion on tattoos and they are aware of the force policy, I think it may well go against me. I do believe that. I do believe that. So I would choose to cover them up to have the interview.
You would, right.
Because they've got it documented, what I have. If they want to check my file for that, that's fine. But I think me as a person, sat in front of them, I should be interviewed based on who I am, not how I present in terms of how I have my hair or my tattoo. I don't think it's fit for purpose. And I say that because I know that having transferred from one force to another, who both have very different policies, if you have one policy in one force and forces are quite happy to take on police officers as transferees, you can't then turn around and say to someone, you're no good to us because your 15 years of experience is undermined by your tattoos. I think that's a ridiculous policy, and if there is one, it needs to be a universal policy for all forces so that everyone sings off the same hymn sheet, because we all move now, we're transient, we all move about. I attended a domestic probably about 6 months ago, and I just had the star tattooed on at that point. A lot of the rest of the tattoo was still outline only and not coloured in. Domestic, got to the house, proper kicking off, angry guy in the house, opened the door, shouting, screaming. I walked in. I went to go and sit with a female because I had a male officer with me. The guy then said, "Oh, you got the same tattoo as me." Instantly, it broke the ice. Instantly, we had a bit of rapport, so I remained with him. My colleague went off with a female and had a chat, and it just completely changed the whole atmosphere straight away, because the person saw me as another individual who has something in common with him and not a police officer who's come in to ruin his day.
Yeah.
So it was, for me, it's always been a positive experience. Kids love it. You go to an instance, I've had kids sit with me when I'm talking to their mums and dads, lift up my sleeve. They like the ice cream because they can relate to it. They'll sit there and they'll outline it with their fingers. I've never had any issues at all.